Their names called as official members of the NBA at 8 o'clock Eastern tonight. This is one of the coolest things we get to do. And look who's joined us. One time, I believe, Perk, he would like us to know he's a lottery pick.
Well, no, that people
Richard Jefferson.
People are going to hear that term a lot today, and so I just want to make sure they're clear on what that means.
Okay, cool.
The majesty that is in front of us clearly is what it
We got to appreciate
means.
it, Rachel.
You appreciate the glory.
We have to do something. That's certainly true. It's time to run it back because Richard is dressed so lovely.
Thank you.
We're going to run it back to the boldest draft day fits ever.
Oh, wow.
Check Maurice Taylor in 1997.
Ooh.
I think it's a lovely color.
Honestly, Aquaman is great.
I mean, it would have been better if he had been going to the Hornets, but
Yeah, well, he went to the Clippers, and that was pretty much the end of him back then. Just kidding, Mote. Just kidding.
The next one.
That's clean. That's clean, though.
Tyler Hero.
That's why Tyler gets invited to the barbecue.
Yep.
That's why he gets invited.
We should have known back then.
We should have known back then, man. Tyler was going to get invited to every barbecue.
Number 3, Bol Bol in the same year.
Bol.
I really didn't understand this one, but
Maybe he was supposed to like the Spider-Man or something.
I mean-
That's a lot of fabric. Look how, gosh.
I mean, do your
He's
thing.
got to have a little flair.
I love it.
There you go.
love it.
Tim Thomas in 97.
Well, they traded that pick, right? He didn't go to the Nets. Where did he end up?
It don't matter. We're talking about.
I'm
the
just
fit.
saying, dog.
This is when the suit game, like your jacket had to reach to your
All your ankles, right?
Yeah.
This number 1.
And come on,
The hat.
96, Sumaki Walker. The hat really made the look.
Oh, he was mad he had to take it off. Look at that.
The hat was the best part of the whole outfit. I mean,
I kind of feel we could do a whole hour on this topic. That this were 5 good ones, but I could pick out like 5. I mean,
The best is when you see all of them together. It's outstanding. It's outstanding.
and you can really track fashion over the years just by looking at NBA draft photos to see how things have changed. All right, let's get to tonight's draft. We're going to see some hot looks, I'm sure. We will also see Jalen Green. Yesterday, I sat down with the top G League Ignite prospect. We had so much fun. Take a listen to our conversation.
Jalen Green crossing over. Oh, Jalen Green spikes it above the rim.
So experts are calling this the best draft class since 2003. For people who don't know at home, 2003 was LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. What do you think?
Three-pointer to end the third quarter goes down by Jalen Green.
I think so too. I think this is a really good draft class. There's a lot of talent. I think the whole class is loaded all the way through, so it's going to be crazy.
You played in the G League bubble. How do you think that prepared you to get to the NBA?
I feel like it was a step ahead of college or anything else. I mean, overseas is the same as being pro, but the game is just different over there. Just learn how to be a pro on and off the court early.
What NBA player are you most excited to go up against?
I think John Moran is probably the most exciting player that I'm trying to play. Just because that's my bro. He's like supported me since high school, and he's an exciting player. I think I'm an exciting player. Both high flyers, so it's gonna get real.
You did start a trend in the G League bubble, the very short shorts.
Yeah.
Are you bringing that to the NBA? America needs to know.
Yes, I am bringing that to the NBA. I need the smallest pair. They had like a 33, and I was like, this is still not small enough. Like, I need like a 30 or a 30, 29 or something like that.
Did you like tailor it at all? Safety pin it up? What did you do?
I wore 2 tights, so I wore 1 padded and 1 regular, and then I just tucked my shorts underneath. So we figured it out.
Who is the best player in this year's draft?
I am.
Do you think that you should go number 1?
I think I said.
Did you tell the Pistons that when you visited them?
I did, and I showed it in the workout too.
What was your workout with Houston like?
It was really good. I got to see what their offense was like, shot the ball well. I think it went really well.
Mock drafts do have you pegged there to go to Houston. How do you think you could fit in with that franchise and give it a lift after it had a really difficult season?
They already got like young talent. They just gotta put it all together on the defensive side. They just gotta really lock in. I think I come in with a defensive mentality, and I'm always gonna give it 110% on both sides of the floor. So I mean, I think I could turn it up there, possibly.
Maybe, possibly.
Yeah.
So the last 3 guys to win Rookie of the Year, none of them went 1 overall. So even if you don't end up going number 1 overall, what is your feel about what you could do in your rookie year and whether you could go out and win that award?
I think it's possible. I think that's a goal of mine coming into the league. First goal is to go to number 1, but the second goal is to get Rookie of the Year.
I'm going to leave it up to you. Would you like to discuss whether he has Rookie of the Year potential or just the short shorts? Because I think, Richard, we need to hear from you on the short shorts.
Well, look, I'm going to say this. He's going to win best hair in the draft, right? Like, that's for sure.
He's so telegenic, right? Kirk and I were talking about that before the show.
Good for that kid. He's going to make a lot of money in a lot of different areas.
Yep.
But ultimately, I think the short shorts is fun because I remember for us, when we got drafted, we were like, we want the biggest shorts possible. So all of a sudden now you get, 20 years forward and kids are like, no. A 33. I want a 29. Is there anything at 28? Can we just wear spandex out there? I think that's what they're trying to go towards.
I actually love this kid. I think Houston is going to, obviously if they pick him, this is a great piece for the Houston Rockets fan base. When you look at them, they've been looking for that guy that's going to come in and have that flash, have that athleticism. He's electrifying on the court. He reminds me a lot of Jalen Brown with a little bit more wiggle, but off the court he reminds me of LaMelo Ball, the way he carries himself. He's very marketable, and you could tell he just had a smile. He had the charisma, so shout out to Jalen Green, man.
Yeah, and look, first of all, he's going to be more NBA ready, as he pointed out, because he just spent a year in the G League in that pro environment. I don't know if Jalen Brown with a little more wiggle goes on an advertisement. Be the top prospect if he had entered last year's draft as well. When is the last time you saw a perimeter prospect that you rated as highly as Cade?
Luka Doncic is the only one that I can remember in the last decade. And I would say, I think that Cade Cunningham is the second best perimeter prospect in the last decade. Okay. And listen, I was incredibly high on Luka Doncic just because of the magic that he had with the basketball. Maybe the most accomplished prospect we've ever seen at that age. I mean, being a EuroLeague MVP at 18 years old, 19, I mean, that's just ridiculous. So to say that Cade is going to be that, I think would be unfair to him. But I would say that Cade is arguably a more complete player. Like, you want to play him off the ball, he can play off the ball. You want to play him on the ball, he can play on the ball. He can play out of the post. He can defend. Like, he has 0 holes in his game. And so I think, the combination of his Luka Doncic-like ceiling and his incredibly high floor speaks to the type of prospect that the Detroit Pistons are getting.
Well, I'm going to go with LeBron James. I'm going to go 2 decades
You're going back.
Yeah, I'm going way back. Since we're comparing this to 2003 draft, I'm going with LeBron James. And just to Mike's point, he's the most complete player. When you look at their size, right, LeBron James, 6'9", 225 pounds when he came out of high school. Cade Cunningham, 6'8", 220 pounds. Versatility, right? You look at him on the offensive end, he has really 0 flaws. Now, can he get better? Absolutely. But he could take you on a low block. He can face you up. He has great enough handles to create for his own. And also, by the way, he's great at making others around him better. And on the defensive end, he could guard 1 through 5. He has that size. He has that motor. He has that mentality. And when you look at LeBron James' numbers, his rookie year, 20 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. I believe that Cade Cunningham could do that. Now, he's not athletic as LeBron James is, but he's athletic enough. And so when I look at this guy, Cade Cunningham, this kid, the future is bright, and he reminds me a lot of LeBron James, but he still has a lot of work to do.
Well, and that's true of all of them, right? You look at LeBron's track through the NBA. You look, you're just talking about Luka Doncic. He's still trying to advance through the playoffs, right?
True.
So even if a guy is a Luka Doncic, even if he turns out to be something even close to LeBron, which is, one of the top 3 players of all time,
ever,
it's going to take a while to get there. Are we going to have a Kareem discussion? Do we need to have a Kareem discussion?
We're not going to do that today, Rachel.
Because I will be happy to stand in for rep for Kareem.
There you go.
Just being in that conversation. I don't put them in an order. I just like to say top 3. And y'all can argue about what order they're in, but let's not forget that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar belongs in that group. Let's move on, though, to this group. Mike, one of the things that I have found so interesting that you have said over and over about this class is that there are actually 3 number 1 caliber picks. Can't remember the last time, maybe Perk's draft class,
there you go,
when we were talking about that idea. And of course, you mean Cade, you mean Jalen Green, you mean Evan Mobley. So once we get past that group, who is, I would say, I don't know, kind of the number 2, even though we're now to number 4?
I think it's Jalen Suggs. And honestly, I feel like we could be giving him a little more credit throughout this pre-draft